Hello, 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 my friends. Hold on one second. I'm going to close this blind so that you guys don't have such a bad glare. Okay, much better. Now you can actually see my face. Hello, friends. Hello. All right. So I am Bridget Brooks, founder of Search Everywhere Marketing, and we help brands become impossible to ignore without burning out or posting 47 times a day. So, if we've never met, here's what you need to know in under 30 seconds. I have worked for major brands like Facebook and Groupon. I have ran ad campaigns for major brands like Sony and Boston University, and I have scaled more brands past seven figures than I can count. But I do not believe in hustle for hustle marketing. I believe in smart visibility that compounds. And I built Search Everywhere Marketing because I was tired of watching great brands that stayed invisible while the mediocre ones dominated simply because they understood distribution. So, before we get started talking about building your credibility, go ahead and smash that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date with omnipresence in today's market. And then let's get into it. I'm going to share my screen here. All right. So, raise your hand if you've ever felt like your brand is the best kept secret in the world. You're doing great work, but you're basically a ghost. Today, we're changing that. Now, omnipresence sounds like something that's like a superhero or a really clingy ex would have, but in business, it's much simpler. It's the art of being everywhere your customer looks, right when they're looking for you. It's moving from who are you to I see you everywhere. Now, most business owners are exhausted. They feel like they're shouting into a void, hoping the right person hears them. But what if you didn't have to shout? The word omni means all. The word presence means being here. When we talk about the goal of strategy, we aren't just talking about posting more, we're talking about the ultimate competitive advantage existing in all places at all times simultaneously. Now, if this sounds like science fiction or a superpower, that's because it kind of is, but it's our reality. The Bible describes presence as absolute, that there is nowhere to hide from the highest heavens to the deepest seas. The Creator isn't just watching from a distance, He is there. The original definition of unlimited reach. If we look at science, quantum physics tells us that entanglement, where two particles that are miles apart react as one. It proves that the very fabric of our universe, distance, is an illusion and that everything is interconnected. So, even looking at your shopping habits, you search for a pair of boots on your phone, you see them again on your laptop, and then you receive a notification as you walk past the mall. That isn't luck, guys. That's omni channel marketing. Brands, science, and faith all understand this one truth. To be ignored is to be invisible, but to be omnipresent is to be inescapable. That's the level of authority that we're building today. We aren't moving we are moving away from the old one-to-one marketing where you chase one lead and close it at a time to one to infinite. That isn't just the goal, it's today's economy and it's a survival requirement. Now, imagine that your brand is a guest at someone's party. It shows up, it stands in the corner, and it leaves early. That's not us. Omnipresence is being the person who's at the bar, on the dance floor, and somehow in the kitchen fixing snacks like it's a seamless experience across all social media and all the physical world. Now, why does this matter for your bank account? Well, it's called the frequency illusion. When you're omnipresent, your prospect thinks the entire world is talking about you. You aren't just an option, you're the obvious choice because they see you everywhere. Familiarity breeds trust, and trust breeds sales. So, if you're invisible to your customer, you don't exist, no matter how good your product is. Right now, most of you are paying the invisibility tax. You're losing thousands of dollars every month simply because your ideal lead found your competitor 3 times before they found you once. People aren't buying from the best, and that's not because their business is bad. It's because their business is invisible. In 2026, the scale always tilts towards the familiar brand every single time. So, most of you are living in what I call the DIY death loop. You've tried to fix this. You've bought the $9.97 course. You lose weekends on YouTube tutorials. You hire freelancers that ghost you once things get technical. The results? Wasted ad spend, zero confidence. And guys, I'm here to tell you that you don't need more intelligence. You don't need more courses. You need a system and a finish line. You need a machine that works while you sleep. And here's what the data tells us. The average buyer needs anywhere from 12 to 24 brand touch points before taking action. Google reports that 90% of consumers are not ready to buy the first time that they see you. Yet, small business owners run one ad that shows up one time on one platform and call it marketing. That's not marketing. That's hoping someone's in the mood. Omnipresence is what happens when people don't discover you, they recognize you. So let's clear some things up real quick because omnipresence doesn't mean being on every platform, doubling your ad spend, or becoming a content machine. It means showing up strategically, repeatedly, and coherently. And that's where the 4 C's come in. These aren't the tactics, they're the rules of the game. And here's the magic trick of this strategy: where attention goes, money flows. You don't need $1 billion Geico budget. You just need to be relevant to a specific group of people. Think of it as an energetic cord. When someone first sees you, that cord is very thin. Every time they see you again, proving value, sharing a story, solving a problem, that cord gets thicker and thicker. And eventually, that cord is so strong to pull them right to your checkout page. So, the C's. First C is clarity. And I think, oh, no. Clarity is where most paid media fails for one reason, just one, and that's muddy messaging. Google own research shows that if you have less than 1 second to capture and earn their attention, and if the message isn't instantly clear, the scroll wins, right? So here's the problem that I see with businesses all the time. They explain what they do instead of what the customer gets. Full service solutions, innovative approach, customized strategies. None of that tells me why I should care. Winning creative in 2026 has to answer these 3 questions. What is this for? Who is this for? And why should I care? Clear brands don't explain, they declare. And when clarity is missing, you pay more for click, you pay more for lead, and you pay more for conversion. And guys, that's not just an opinion or my opinion, that's math. If you talk about yourself, think about it like a date, right? A first date. You talk about yourself the whole time on the first date, there won't be a second one. Omnipresence is where showing up where they already are so they don't have to crash the party that you're invited to, right? So, clarity is the antidote to the scroll past. If your grandma can't explain what you do after 5 seconds on your profile, you're not deep, you're invisible, right? And don't use $50 keywords when $5 ones get the job done. Be so clear on your value proposition that it hits them like a cold glass of water. So now Let's talk about trust, because people don't buy from strangers. They buy from brands that they've seen before. And confidence is built through controlled repetition. Seeing you on Meta when they're scrolling, then Google when they're searching, then Nextdoor when they're asking neighbors. Metadata shows repeated exposure can increase conversion rates up to 3 times. Familiar brands consistently outperform better than ones that don't get recognized. So this is when most business owners panic and say, "I don't want to annoy people." But here's the truth. You're not annoying, you're forgettable. The brands winning right now don't convince harder, they show up longer. Confidence is the scent that people can smell through their iPhones. And omnipresent doesn't mean being loud, it means being certain. You aren't asking for permission to be in their feed showing up. You're doing them a favor by showing up. Think of yourself as the solution that they've been praying for and act accordingly. Our third one is credibility. And this one, guys, it hits the wallet. If your ads is your digital storefront and your ads look cheap or inconsistent or unproven, the algorithm and the user punishes you. Nelson studies show that ads with a visible social score increase their click through rate up to 300%. Brands with consistent creative see a lower cost per click because platforms reward the trust signals. So, what I see all the time is good service, great results, zero visibility authority. Or worse, it's only in your head, right? You're paying a credibility tax on every click that can have the best lifting and you're paying a credibility tax on every click. And you can have the best lighting and the sharpest suits, but if you don't have the receipts, you're just a loud person in a nice outfit, right? Credibility shows the world that you've actually done the thing in a world of fake it until you make it. The real flex is that you have the credibility. There's the deal's been done. So the next one is our conversion. And this is where a lot of people get very defensive. Omnipresence without conversion is just really an expensive hobby, you guys. The data doesn't care how much effort you put in, it only cares about what's working. Industry industry benchmarks show that businesses that review and optimize ads just monthly outperform the ones that set it and forget it by 20 to 30%. Yet most business owners look at ads when something breaks, when leads aren't coming in, and they react emotionally to short-term dips, and they don't have a feedback loop, just reactions. Conversion is not about tricks, it's about systems that listen to the data. The likes are great, the high fives feel good, but they can't pay your mortgage. Conversion is where omnipresence pays the rent because you've been clear, you've been confident, and you're credible. You're everywhere they look. The sale shouldn't feel like a pitch, it should feel like a natural next step in your relationship. Just don't build the fan club, build a business. So when you switch to the 4 rules, the question isn't, does this work? The evidence is overwhelming. The question is, how are you going to implement it? To leave ghost mode, you really need 4 steps, and that is to audit your current presence, find the visibility gaps in your customer journey. Number 2 is design your touchpoint strategy. Map out those 12 to 24 interactions that we talked about. Number 3 is build your optimized systems. Stop guessing and start testing with rigorous cadence. And number 4 is commit to consistency, because in 2026, consistency beats intensity every single time. So sounds simple, right? Not so much. The biggest question I get, excuse me, my nose is running. I think I'm getting a cold. But the biggest question I get is, how do you actually do this without losing your mind or posting 5,000 times a day? And we call this the waterfall effect. This is where you record one long form video, and this is your source and the heart of your expertise, right? You take that video and you turn it into 10 short clips. That gives you reach across reels, TikToks, shorts. And then for step 3, you run it into retargeting ads. The results, you appear to be working 24/7, but in reality, you only spent 1 hour in front of the camera and you're working smarter, not harder. This is where we shift from mechanical thinking model. Instead of recording daily, we repurpose one single video. We turn it into 20 pieces of content. We just talked about 10, but you can actually turn it into 20 pieces of content when you create blogs and podcasts all around it. We schedule an entire month of content in just 1 hour. We stop chasing cold leads, right? Um, and we start retargeting warm visitors who already know us, who have already been to our website. Most importantly, we stop guessing. We let the data from a 90-day sprint decide our next move. This is how you go from being a hustler to a systems operator. And to make this work, you need to have what I call your robot marketing team. Yep, perfect. So these are the tools that I use 90% of the time that do 90% of the labor. First, we capture. We use tools like Descript, Riverside to ensure high quality source videos. And this is the raw material for everything else. Then we clip. We use AI tools like Opus Pro or Munch. These platforms will automatically find your most viral moment in that long video and chop it into short form. Third, we distribute. We use tools like Metricool or Go High Level, where we can post that content to 5 different platforms with a single click. And then finally, we start retargeting. The concept's very simple. They show up to your website and they become your digital shadow. This is your easy button, guys. This is what turns your 40-hour work week into 1-hour system. So let's look at the actual funnel ad strategy. Top of the funnel, we start with something like Google Ads, Meta Ads, or YouTube Ads, and even TikTok to capture the people who are actively searching for what you offer. Then the retargeting. This is where the magic happens. This is through Meta, YouTube, and even Nextdoor. We follow those leads. They see your clips, they see your face, and they start to feel like you are everywhere. Third is the integration. Now, this is the secret sauce. We perform full funnel tracking, final audits, and ensure that every platform is talking to each other, because that's exactly where the dollar goes, and we need to know which lead is ready to close. So when these stages are connected, you aren't just running ads, you're running an ecosystem. Seems simple, right? Simple, but that doesn't mean easy. And this is the implementation gap. So algorithms change constantly, platforms reward consistency, and omnipresence requires maintenance. Suddenly, your marketing becomes the job, a second full time job, right? The job of one on top of running your pivot, or running your business. So that's where we created the SEM 90. And guys, I know I've covered a lot of ground, but if you're sitting there wondering how you're actually going to implement this without feeling like you're shouting to the void, I want to invite you to step into that Omni 90 membership. Now, this isn't one of those endless memberships where you pay for forever and never finish. This is a membership with a finish line. Our entire goal is to get you agency ready or completely self sufficient in 90 days where you're able to do it on your own. We build the engine and then we hand you over the keys. Now, I want to show you why this matters. Oops. All right. Look at Mike. Before he started using the systems, he was literally waking up every morning stressed, just hoping that the phone would ring. In 90 days, his lead volume jumped 47%. His cost per lead dropped from $80 to $32, guys. That's almost $50 savings on cost per lead. And think about that. He's paying less than half than he used to. His revenue's up 29% month over month because he stopped guessing and started using a system. He told me, he's like, Bridget, this saved my business and it saved my sanity. So here's exactly what we're going to do for you in the 3 phases. Month 1, we're going to focus heavy on the heavy hitters. Google Ads, top of funnel setup. We're going to get the faucet turned on, right? Month 2, we layer in Meta, YouTube, and this is where we start seeing that omnipresence really start to come to life and where your prospect starts to feel like, "Oh my gosh, I see you everywhere." In month 3, we tie it all together with a full integration and tracking perfection, guys. It is tracking perfection. So by the time you're at day 91, you're ready for us to do a full marketing audit on you. And that means we look under the hood of your business. We tell you if you're ready to scale this solo, if you need some more time, or if you're ready to hand it over to an agency. So you're getting the exact same growth that our clients inside of Search Everywhere Marketing are paying $4,000 to $6,000 a month for. You get weekly live trainings on Google and Meta and AI. You get monthly hot seat coachings where we're able to tell you if you know you're stuck and you're hitting a block, exactly how to overcome that block. Plus our full resource library and private community of people doing the same exact thing. And guys, when I say a full resource library, I'm talking about I have been doing this. I worked for Facebook in 2014. I sold my first online course about ads in 2018. You get access to all of it, right? So there's 3 ways to join us if you want to join us. You can do the test drive. That's just month to month. It's $1,000 a month. You can do the complete sprint. That is actually comes down to $900 a month because you're paying for the full 90 days up front. Or you can do the extended sprint, and that's at $800 a month. And listen, because we have the extended sprint there, because we understand that you are a business owner first. Marketing is not your main hat that you wear. So we want to be able to give you the time that you need to fully accomplish it without booting you out on day 91. So, if you're ready for the random acts of marketing to stop and you're ready to actually build a predictable growth machine, the link is here. You can use the QR code, head over there now, pick the plan that fits your commitment, and let's make omnipresence look easy for you.